Hi, it's Dave Furman, Senior Pro Player and Coach. Welcome back to Pickleball Daily. And today we will discuss the 7 habits that are hurting your game. So a common mistake I see many players make is when they're hitting the ball as they move through the ball. What we want to do is we want to make sure that before every time we hit a ball, we are fully set. All right. So the ball comes, it's being returned. I serve, the ball is returned to me. I want to make sure that I set my feet. I'm looking to make contact out here in front of me. And when I make my contact, now I start to move forward. As I move forward, a second to two before my opponent hits the ball, I want a split step. Split step just means I come to a complete stop. Because otherwise, if I am continuing with my forward progress and my opponent hits the ball lateral to me, in other words, to the side of me, I won't be able to hit that ball since I'm moving forward and that ball is going to my side. So what we want to do is make sure with every time we hit a ball, we're down low, we hit the ball, we move forward, and we stop before our opponent hits the ball. All right? And then our opponent hits the ball, then again, we're set, we hit the ball, and again, we move forward. So when I hit my shot, I obviously know right away whether I hit a good shot or a bad shot. Hopefully I hit a good shot. And then what I want to do is as I hit my shot, I'm going to move forward in the direction where I hit the ball, and I'm going to move with my paddle a little bit more in the mid position here, being ready to have either the low ball or a high ball. Now, as I move forward, a second to two before my opponent hits that ball, I'm going to split step. Now, the opponent hits the ball, same idea. I hit the next ball, I move, and as soon as I can, always, I'm moving in increments. Now, I'm not in a rush to get from the baseline to the kitchen line. In other words, just because it's not realistic for me to hit a ball from here and then make it all the way to the kitchen line in one shot. It might take me 2 shots, it may take 3, it may even take 7. That's okay. As long as each time when I go to hit the ball, I am set, I look to make my point of contact in front of me, and then I follow and I move forward in increments, and I allow myself the opportunity to keep progressing through the transition zone, and therefore I don't get stuck back here. So another very bad habit that I see often is when players are going back to get a ball, but they're backpedaling. And backpedaling means that they're walking this way with their shoulders towards the net. This is a very, very dangerous habit to get into. As we go backwards, our momentum takes us backwards. We have that tendency with our weight leaning back, we can fall down. We end up putting our wrists, we can break our wrists, we can hit our head. So please, 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 make sure that when you are going to get a ball, if you don't feel comfortable going backwards, that's fine. Let the ball drop. It's not the end of the world. But instead of pedaling backwards, what I want you to do, as soon as you recognize that the ball is going back over your head, what you want to do is turn to the side, and you can either turn to the side and then shift, lateral shift, or you can turn to the side and you can even cross your feet as you're going looking for that ball. Either way, that allows you, it's balance, you're watching the ball, and you have a good momentum with you that does not force you the ability to possibly and dangerously fall backwards and cause injuries. And again, the third habit, oftentimes I find players that they get into the transition zone in no man's land, so to speak, and then they just stay here, right? Your goal always is to move forward. So as soon as you recognize when you hit a good ball or when your partner hits a good ball, your goal is to continuously to move forward and to get to that kitchen line. Try to avoid just getting here and then staying here and being stuck. Remember, your goal is to make it from the baseline to the kitchen line. If your opponent has the high ball and they're attacking you, yes, you might stay here, you might retreat a little bit. But as soon as the opportunity comes and provides you the ability to move forward again, you want to continue to move forward to get to the kitchen line as opposed to being stuck and staying in no man's land. When we're here, our opponents have so much more court that they can hit the ball into, and then all of a sudden their angles open up and our ability to cover a lot more court becomes more of a challenge for us. So a lot of players also, when they're coming out to the kitchen line, they tend to come up to the kitchen line a little bit kind of lazy-like, a little bit here, paddles down, arm down, hanging. I want us to kind of change that mindset. I want us to be in a little more of a bouncy, little light air on our feet. I want with my paddle up at about, as a righty at about an 11:30 position. As a lefty, I'm going to be more in the 12th position. If you notice, the paddle height that I have my paddle is higher than the tape of the net. So that way, at any time, if an opponent attacks a ball that comes at me, my paddle face is already above the height of the net. All I need to do is have the ball hit my paddle and it'll go over the net. So I want us with our feet about shoulder width apart on the balls of our feet. I want our paddle up here, and our other hand, what I call the offhand, try to change this bad habit where we end up putting our hand here down, or we'll sometimes put our hand here on our hip. That really does not allow us for good movement. So I want that other hand to be a little bit out here as well in a more ready position. If you want to hold your paddle here and be ready, that's something fine that you can do as well. But regardless, I want this other hand out here free as well, moving, and allows you to move with that ball. All right? And after every shot, you hit the ball and you're right back into your ready position. No matter what you do, whether you dink the ball, you're in the moving position, you hit the ball, you volley a ball, after every time, this is your basic ready position after every shot that you hit. So we're going to talk a lot about now what happens when we tend to pop a ball up a lot and we end up overusing our wrist. And there's a reason that's a very common mistake. I want you as a player to think that you have an imaginary circle that's in front of you. And that imaginary circle actually follows you everywhere you go on the court and with every shot that you hit. Your goal when you make contact with almost every ball, of course there's some exceptions, but almost every shot when you hit, your goal is to make contact the outer edge of your semicircle. Now, if you notice, the outer edge of my semicircle allows me full extension and allows me to get the ball closer to the net. And if I'm closer to the net, it's obviously also time that I take away from my opponent. Now, what happens oftentimes when we allow the ball to get inside our personal semicircle? Well, so instead of making contact out here, the ball comes here. It's inside my circle. So now if you notice, my paddle comes back, I make my contact here. But now, how do I get that ball to go over the net? Because the ball has already gone much closer to my body. And so what most players do, the way that we make that ball go over the net, is we have to lift up on that ball. If you noticed, I broke my wrist. And when I break my wrist, look at the face of my paddle. Face of my paddle is parallel to the ground, it's pointing up. Wherever the face of my paddle points, that's where the ball's going. So because the face of my paddle is up and I go to hit the ball, I pop the ball up. As opposed to if I make contact in front of me with the ball. So if you watch, I'm going to hit two balls. One is going to be with the ball right out in front of me, the outer edge of my semicircle. So I'm able to hit out very nice and easy. Now I'm going to put a ball here lateral to me or really deep inside my circle. So if you see now, the only way that I can hit that ball is I have to break my wrist to get underneath that ball to lift it. And that's the reason is because physics otherwise here does not allow me to be able to hit the ball over the net. I have to use my wrist. And when I have to use my wrist, the chance of popping the ball up increases dramatically. So again, we want to make sure when we can always make contact the outer edge of our semicircle, however we do it, forehand or backhand, to allow us time to take away from our opponent. A shot through the net is much shorter distance, and it allows us to maintain a very nice, smooth shot over the net as opposed to popping the ball up. So oftentimes when we play, we'll tend to have a tendency where our opponents on the other side of the net move around a lot. And when they move around, we start to sometimes get a little bit distracted and we're watching them move. And when they hit the ball and they're moving, we're watching them move, we forget to watch the ball. So when you're hitting, I want you always to focus on the ball. There's a very simple saying, see ball, hit ball. This is your main focus. So no matter what anything else is happening there, at every time you are just looking at the ball, making sure that you can watch your ball with your eyes, watch the contact with your paddle, making contact with the ball. Don't let other distractions get in the way. A very common mistake as well I see with a lot of players when they're receiving the serve is that they're standing very, very close to the baseline. Okay? Now, this is very dangerous because when your opponent hits you a very deep serve, you're going to end up backing up, hitting on your back foot, and not being able to get the same depth that you want. When you're receiving the serve, your goal is about almost anywhere from 4 to 5 feet behind the baseline. Now, I know many of you say, yeah, but why would I give up so much court and so much space in order to hit the ball? Well, no, this is just our starting position. When our opponent serves the ball, the first thing that we're going to do is we have to recognize, are we hitting a forehand or are we hitting a backhand? And if I decide I'm going to hit a forehand, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn towards my forehand position. If I'm hitting a backhand, I'm going to turn towards my backhand position. Whether I want to slice, whether I want to go over the ball. Same thing with the forehand. If I want to slice, if I want to slice the ball, if I want to go over the ball, that doesn't really matter. But the first key is I want to turn in the direction where I'm going to hit the ball. Now, when that ball is being served to me, I'm not waiting for the ball now to come all the way for me to hit the ball. So if that ball is a short serve that's served in, well, I turn, and if you notice, I'm coming in and I'm hitting the ball. Now I'm already inside the court. So if you notice that, my ability to take the ball early gives me a lot more time because I started further back, and I'm able to move forward, return the ball, and continue my forward progress to the kitchen line, which is my goal. But if I just stand here and that ball lands really close here to that service line, the baseline, I'm all the way back here on my heel with my paddle up. I'm probably going to hit a very high ball that's not very deep. So we want to start further back and allow ourselves to step in and make contact into the ball, into the kitchen, with our momentum moving us forward so we can get to that kitchen line. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped. If you want more content, please subscribe to Pickleball Daily.